We often believe that motivation is the spark we need to begin. We tell ourselves that once we feel inspired, once the timing is right, then we will start. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather, unpredictable and fleeting. If we wait for motivation to strike, we may never take the first step. The most successful people in any field don't rely on motivation. They rely on action. They understand that waiting for the right feeling is just another form of procrastination. Think about the times you didn't want to go to the gym, but once you laced up your shoes and started moving, the energy kicked in. Or the times you dreaded sitting down to work, but once you wrote the first sentence, the rest started to flow. This is because action creates momentum. It tells your brain, we're doing this. And before you know it, you are in motion. The hardest part is always the beginning, and once you push through that initial resistance, everything becomes easier. Our brains are wired to seek comfort and avoid effort. It's a survival mechanism, but in today's world, it often holds us back. If we wait until we feel like doing something, we give in to that resistance. But if we take action first, even when we don't feel like it, we trick our brains into engagement. That small action, that first step, signals to our mind that it's time to focus. Action isn't just a response to motivation, it's the thing that creates it. Highly disciplined people don't wake up every day feeling excited to work. They don't rely on inspiration. They create routines and habits that remove the decision-making process entirely. They know that if they start, motivation will follow. It's not about feeling ready, it's about acting before the feeling arrives. This is why the most successful individuals don't leave their progress up to chance. They don't wait for permission from their emotions. They take control and move forward regardless of how they feel. If you want to change your life, don't focus on motivation, focus on action. Start before you're ready, get up and take the first step no matter how small it is. If you want to write a book, start with one sentence. If you want to exercise, start with 5 minutes. If you want to build a business, make the first phone call. When you act first, your brain catches up. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds progress. Everything you want to accomplish is on the other side of action. The people who achieve great things aren't the ones who wait for motivation, they are the ones who move forward in spite of resistance. They understand that success is not about feeling like doing something, it's about doing it anyway. So don't wait, get up and get it done. Inspiration is a wonderful feeling. It's exciting, it's powerful, and it makes us believe that anything is possible. But inspiration is also fleeting. It comes in bursts, like a spark that lights up the dark for a moment and then fades away. If we rely on inspiration alone, we find ourselves stuck in a cycle of waiting for the next spark, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right mood. And while we wait, nothing gets done. The real key to success is not inspiration, it's discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when inspiration disappears. It's what gets you out of bed on the days when you don't feel like working. It's what makes you sit down and do the hard things, even when there's no excitement or passion pushing you. Discipline is about making a commitment to yourself and following through no matter what. It's about choosing long-term progress over short-term comfort. The people who accomplish the most in life are not necessarily the most inspired, they are the most consistent. We often admire athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders for their talent, but talent alone is never enough. What sets them apart is their ability to show up every day and put in the work regardless of how they feel. A writer doesn't publish a book because they were inspired every day. They publish because they had the discipline to write when they didn't feel like it. An athlete doesn't become a champion because they only trained on the days they were motivated. They become a champion because they trained even when they were tired, sore, and discouraged. Discipline creates a foundation that allows you to make progress even in the absence of motivation. It removes the need for constant decision making. Instead of asking yourself, do I feel like doing this today? You simply do it because it's part of who you are. This shift in mindset is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. When discipline becomes a habit, success becomes inevitable. You don't have to rely on unpredictable waves of inspiration. You create your own momentum through consistent effort. The hardest part of any goal is not the big dramatic moments, it's the daily grind. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that add up over time. Discipline is what keeps you committed to those choices. It's what helps you push through boredom, frustration, and self-doubt. The most successful people in the world aren't immune to these challenges. They simply don't let them dictate their actions. They understand that discipline, not inspiration, is the real fuel behind greatness. If you want to achieve something meaningful, stop waiting for inspiration. Stop hoping for the perfect moment. Instead, build the discipline to take action every single day. Show up, put in the work. Keep going even when it's hard. Over time, discipline will take you further than inspiration ever could. Because inspiration may get you started, but only discipline will get you to the finish line. We often think success comes from one big life-changing action, a single breakthrough moment that transforms everything. But in reality, the greatest achievements are built on small, consistent wins. Progress isn't about making giant leaps. It's about taking steady steps forward, no matter how small they may seem. These small wins may feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, they compound into something remarkable. Every major accomplishment, whether in business, fitness, relationships, or personal growth, is simply the result of many small victories stacked on top of each other. One of the biggest reasons people give up on their goals is that they expect instant results. They go to the gym for a week and don't see changes, so they stop. They start a new business, face a few setbacks, and decide it's not working. They try to learn a new skill, but feel frustrated because they're not an expert overnight. The truth is, progress is slow, and it's meant to be. Small wins are the foundation of long-term success, and the key is to recognize them, celebrate them, and use them as fuel to keep going. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is still movement in the right direction. Small wins create momentum. When you accomplish something, even if it's just waking up early, writing one paragraph, or making a single healthy choice, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good. This feeling encourages you to keep going. One success leads to another, and before you know it, you've built a habit. People who achieve great things aren't necessarily the ones who take the biggest risks or make the boldest moves. They're the ones who show up every day, take small steps, and stay committed even when the progress is invisible. Most people underestimate the power of compounding effort. Imagine filling a jar with drops of water. At first, it looks empty. You add a few more drops, and still nothing seems to change. But if you keep adding drop by drop, eventually the jar overflows. Success works the same way. The small things you do daily, choosing the focus, putting in the work, staying consistent, are like those drops of water. At first it feels like nothing is happening, but one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. The challenge is that small wins aren't always exciting. They don't feel as dramatic as a big breakthrough. Because of that, they're easy to overlook. But the people who understand this principle know that consistency is more important than intensity. They don't rely on motivation or quick results. They trust the process. They know that writing one page a day leads to a book. Saving a little money each week leads to financial freedom. Practicing a skill for a few minutes every day leads to mastery. The small things matter far more than we think. If you want to achieve something great, stop focusing on the finish line and start focusing on the next step. Don't worry about how long it will take or how far you have to go. Just commit to winning today in whatever small way you can. Over time, those small wins will add up to something bigger than you ever imagined. And when you look back, you'll realize that it wasn't one big move that changed your life. It was this series of small, consistent actions that led you there.